Oregon, you won the toss. It's your choice. Oregon won the toss, elected to defer, want the ball. Which way you want to kick? Okay, Ohio State, put you back there. Oregon over here. Ohio State over here. Start first half, Ohio State will receive. Good luck, guys.
We're always trying to wear the other team down and see if they can play at our pace. I don't think it's something that you can do 1 or 2 weeks to get ready for. You know, it's a way we play all the time.
Now, you have stressed to your guys all season long to live in the moment. What did you say to your players before you left the locker room to prepare them for this Rhodes Bowl moment?
The moment doesn't get any better than this. I love them with all my heart. Go play football the Oregon way.
All right, thank you very much, Chip, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And everybody just sit back, settle in. We watched a lot of football. And let's let Oregon and Ohio State bring it to you here at the beginning. The journey begins. Herron. Young Pryor will take over at the 25-yard line alongside Pryor. And on first down, fires middle, incomplete. There's the screen out the side to Zanzenbacher. And it puts him in third down. And on this third down, Pryor will take off. There's the problem he creates. That was a 3rd and 6, and he ran for 24. And they are throwing early and often here today. And one of the things to keep in mind as Posey, probably his most dangerous wide receiver, makes his first catch. Keep in mind that they are short-handed at the wide receiver spot. Second down, throws for another first down. Very impressively as Posey makes his second catch.
You can attack them through the air.
Torian Washington's an added receiver. There's that flanker screen to Zanzenbacher as they go and attack the edge, and it's good for 7 yards.
To one-on-one coverage on the outside.
There's the handoff to Sane. Another first down. Barges across the 15-yard line. And the Bucks rolling early as Eddie Pleasant makes the stop for Oregon. Good protection, incomplete. Zanzenbacher the intended target, and it'll be second down and 10. And Boren is to the quarterback's left. He picks up the blitzer. Fire, end zone, in and out of Posey's hands. Pryor. Sane. Touchdown, Ohio State. Due to handle kickoffs here today. They were worried about his leverage in the kickoff portion of the game, but Petrie tacks on the extra point. Here he comes. Stopped at the 26-yard line. Michael James motions out of the backfield. They go empty. And now it's Masoli's turn. Throw in underneath with blockers in front of the back for a first down. This does the job game after game after game. And here comes Barnard, who they send him in. There's Kurt Coleman, all Big Ten safety. On a first down now, Off that read option, Masole's in trouble. There is that defensive front, and Cameron Hayward.
This is the most talented defensive front with the depth that they have that they've faced all year.
There's the read option, and James is stopped as he crosses to about the 42-yard line. Masole, as the play breaks down, takes off, and he'll go out of bounds far side. Coleman closing in. Posey will replace Small as the return man on punts. Rice. This one could be down inside the 5. It is. Incredible afternoon when he landed that jet in the Hudson River. Pryor now with Heron as his running back, hands it off. Far side, and a good first down run before Paysinger gets to him.
Personal foul, face mask, on a defense number 11, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Middle for Heron, a 9-yard burst. A little bit slow on that read option on the handoff, and the Ducks jump the play.
Dude, you know, the unenviable, trying to live up to such unrealistic expectations.
3rd and 3. He keeps it again this time. Got the first down. That was well done. Sticking with the power eye. Pryor. Sanzenbacher, first down, Buckeyes. Penalty flag. Heron for a couple.
Offside, defense, number 45, line up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Boren leads the play, and nothing doing as the Ducks jump Dan Heron that time. Pryor's in trouble. Down, sacked at the 39-yard line. Kenny Rowe. 3rd and a bunch, and Pryor in trouble again. Deep middle, incomplete. Now Barner. There's a penalty on this play and another flag. So we've got 2 penalties on this return by Kenyon Barner.
There are 2 fouls, both against the receiving team. During the return, block in the back, number 1 of the receiving team. Penalties decline. Holding during the kick, receiving team number 1. Penalized from the end of the kick, half the distance of the goal. Timeout on the field.
Now the Buckeyes come back first time under head coach Jim Trusser. Read option, and James is read perfectly by Thaddeus Gibson, the defensive end for the Bucks. Masole keeping it all the way and nothing doing as this Buckeye defense keeping number 8 bottled up. 3rd and long again. From his own end zone. Should have been intercepted. Now Jackson Rice, the freshman, deep in his own end zone. He's had 1 block, gets this one out cleanly. And Posey this time signals for the fair catch at midfield. Just gorgeous. Terrelle Pryor with a 7-point lead. Down, wide open, Sane. Got it. Foot race. 1st and goal. The young man who scored the touchdown. Stoneburner. Bad snap. Mishandled by Pryor. Tries to save it. Dives forward. Back to the 6. Pryor to the 4. They're going to spread the field a little bit. 3 wide. Posey, Sanzenbacher, and Washington checks in. Pryor cut off. Won't make it. Keep in mind that Aaron Petrie had tacked on the extra point. So we are wondering if he re-injured that knee on that extra point. This is Barkley, who had kicked off. He kicks the field goal, and it is 10-0 Buckeyes. Barkley bobbled at the 13, and then Barner picks it up and returns it to the 42-yard line.
But I think you're going to start to see Masoli trying to get the quick passing game going and trying to challenge Ohio State more on the perimeter here, and maybe that can get the running game opened up.
Starts with an end to run, and Barner on the edge comes up big. One way to defeat that big, swift defensive line, get over on the edge and make something happen.
Yeah, either you get the ball out quick with a pass or you do it on a reverse here, and Barner has the same kind of explosiveness that LaMichael James has. If he gets to the corner, again, he can get downfield in a hurry.
Here's Masoli keeping it himself. Barges across the 10-yard line.
All of a sudden, a big play by Barner and a fake to LaMichael James on the option read, and Ohio State starts to chase that because you have to respect the speed, and it leaves Masoli open.
Up-tempo, Masoli on the roll. He'll throw it away. Happy and healthy 2010. The Oregon Ducks trail it by 10. James gets the first handoff, and he's to the 7-yard line as we open the second quarter.
Of the Ohio State safeties and linebackers, and it's a slight adjustment here for Oregon in the first half.
On third down, Masoli will throw for it, the end zone, incomplete. He had the safety chasing a wide receiver, Mail.
Jeff Mail definitely had a chance to get away from Chekwa there to be able to come up with that touchdown.
Nate Costa, the holder who saved the Arizona game, will put it down for Morgan Flint. 24-yarder. And the Ducks are on the scoreboard. Rob Beard. Short kickoff. Sane runs up to the 15-yard line. They're going to run a reverse on it. That was Russell, the safety. First and 10. Pryor going to keep it all the way. Pryor. No more than a yard. Ferris brings him down. Nothing doing. They were ready. They had the pocket surrounded. Pasinger and Matthews. Toma punting for the Bucks. Barner at the 42-yard line. Gets an edge. Great striking field position for the Ducks. Here we are in Pasadena for the Rose Bowl, Oregon and Ohio State. James, who's been bottled up, slips by to the outside, and that's his most effective run of the game.
They're trying to get the ball out now on the edge with reverses and speed with LaMichael James.
Here's Masoli. Going to throw it away. A flag. Illegal movement against the Ducks.
Ball start on the offense. Number 74. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Third down. Masoli is only 1 of 5 passing. He's missed his last 4. Completes it to James, but not much doing. Back at the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 4th down. Going for it on 4th and 9 from just inside the Bucs 30. Masoli got it right at the 20, very close to the 1st down marker. Jeff Mayle, the reliable one.
Side of the Pac-10 have never heard of. He's a guy that just...
And they gave him a 1st down before they could even take another look at it upstairs.
Yeah, that's a
but
catch.
You saw what Trussell wanted looked at. And the Ducks said, I don't think so. Back they came. Here's James. And now James seems to be finding his stride.
They're constantly battling and attacking in different ways.
That's Barner. Not this time. 2nd down and goal. He's hit by Brian Roll. Here comes LeGarrette Blount. First time we've seen him in this game. Number 9. The big back. Powering. Reaching for the end zone. And marked at the 1 by the line judge. Is the young man who was suspended following the Boise State game when he threw that punch and decked a Boise State player.
Brent, I think this might be a touchdown. I mean, does his body ever touch the ground? I mean, he's landing on top of Kurt Coleman. He runs right over top of him. Does his knee ever touch, or is he landing on Ohio State defenders as he stretches the ball across to try to get it into the end zone? Coleman has the courage to step in front of LeGarrette Blount, but Blount looks like he extends the football across the plane there before his knee touched.
So the replay official upstairs from the Big 12 Conference is taking a look at it.
After further review, the runner was on top of players and was not declared down until he got into the end zone. It'll be a touchdown.
Buckeyes say deal. Sane. LeGarrette Blount got us even. Let's go down for more from Lisa. Take over on their own 20. Pryor complete to the 24-yard line. Heron.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Terrelle Pryor at Ohio State try to open things back up.
And that is Heron being jumped. And so Nick Aliotti, who has been the defensive coordinator at Oregon for 18 years, is up there with the sunglasses on, looking down, made some adjustments, Herbie, with that defense, and he's been able to shut them down ever since that opening drive.
Yeah, the big thing that he wants to do, he wants to continue to force Pryor to prove that he can throw the football. And because they're a bit undersized up front, they're attacking the line of scrimmage with the safeties and putting 8, sometimes 9, to try to slow down the Ohio State running game.
Heron, first down, Ohio State. Pryor, incomplete. Sanzenbacher, the target.
Pryor today is going to have to show his ability to read defenses and throw the football.
Heron to the 37-yard line, and it will be third down and manageable. Boyette with the stop. Pryor will take off. Penalty flag. The umpire threw one a little bit late.
Personal foul, face mask, and a defense. 15-yard penalty, first down. Before the snap, there was movement. False start on the offense. Number 76, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Shugarts, the right tackle.
And Posey, he's got to hit him.
Pryor. Posey. Pryor drops it off, but nothing doing. Heron eaten up. Pryor. Complete. First down, Buckeyes across the 25-yard line. Running back Danny Heron. Posey to the 25-yard line. Sane. First down, Ohio State. Pryor's 12 of 17. Penalty flag. Thrown on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
Legal shift on the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
They've been very, very conservative, and that's not been the case today against Oregon.
Pryor. Beautiful grab at the 20-yard line. That was Posey working his way across.
A lot of movement right now from the Oregon defensive line, twisting and stunning, confusing Ohio State up front.
Pryor, short of the first down. Sitting around enjoying these two teams, the best of the Big Ten and the champions of the Pac-10. 3rd and 7. Pryor in a foot race. Trying to bang his way for the first down. Close. First down. Sane to the 10-yard line. First down and goal. Pryor, end zone, got a man, incomplete. Pryor, Sanzenbacher. They lose. Back to the 19. It'll be 3rd down. Boyette, the defender. Number 20, the freshman from Napa, California. 18th play of this Buckeye drive coming up. High, incomplete, and now they will send the field goal unit out onto the team. But as a soccer player in the MLS, not as a football player. He will attempt this field goal, and from 30 yards, Barkley, who won the Iowa game with a dramatic 39-yarder, puts the Bucks back ahead in the Rose Bowl. Let me correct myself. I dated myself. They're no longer the Rowdies. They're the Mutiny.
Oh, thank goodness.
Barkley with the ball on the tee. Short kickoff. Fielded at the 24-yard line. Down at the 31's Harris. Ball came out. Scrum is going on. And they say he is down. You see the one official pointing quickly at the ground.
They're anxious to show that they can play in the big games and play with the great teams in college football.
Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
As they have a chance with a top 12 finish this year to finish this decade with 5 top 12 finishes.
Masoli into Buckeye territory. So Masoli comes back to 2-A, and that's a 23-yard gain, and they've got inside of a minute to work with and 1 timeout. Stops the clock out of bounds as they work underneath.
Great job of getting out of bounds by James. And if you're not familiar with Jeremiah Masoli and this Oregon offense, and you hear a lot about their zone read and their option attack, he has a quick release, a strong arm. He's making good decisions this year by throwing the football. They make a little adjustment to the game clock, but he can get the ball downfield in a hurry with the strength of his arm. Ed Dixon and Jeff Mail, his 2 favorite targets.
38 seconds for Masoli. Through behind the receiver. He had a vertical runner open, and that was Big Ed Dixon, who's been quiet so far.
They sent two guys that time right at Kirk Coleman to make him make a decision on Jeff Mayo or Ed Dixon.
Masoli deflected, intercepted at the 35-yard line by Homan. Pryor with a deep drop. Waits, and throws it away. Sane was in the area. Pryor comes back. Sanzebacher, that's a first down. It'll stop it quickly. They're moving into field goal range. That's a 25-yard gain. And they will stop it.
It'll be interesting to see with Petrie with a much stronger leg to see if they do eventually have this shot at a field goal, if they are going to elect to still go with Barclay.
Well, you see Aaron Petrie over there on the sideline. Remember, he kicked their first extra point here today. He has a little bit of a longer range. His longest field goal is 52 yards. So with 10 seconds, they'd like one more play just a little bit closer. Pryor got to keep the clock in mind. He throws it away. It has to hit something over there before.
That's what he was.
That's why Colt McCoy was so successful in the Big 12 championship. On its way. There's that big leg. Petrie.
We're going to have to be at our best run and pass, and as you can see, this is going to be a heck of a game.
Terrelle Pryor, 15 for 24, 149 yards in that first half. Also 31 yards rushing the ball. What does that do for his confidence, having so much success running and throwing?
Well, he knows that it's a long battle to go, so hopefully he'll keep making good decisions, and he can make some big plays with his arm and his feet.
All right, thank you very much.
Devin Barkley will kick it away here for the Buckeyes. The crowd settling back in after the intermission and the bands. Fielded on the 7-yard line by Barner. Barner got a gap. Barner explodes, and he is out to the 46-yard line. James bounces. Crosses midfield before Russell wrestles him down.
It's only off to the sideline.
Come now the other side. And the Buckeyes jump on it. Hines was in on that play. Down the near sideline, one-on-one penalty. That'll go against the Buckeyes. Chekwa.
Pass interference on a defense number 5. 15 yards from the previous spot.
And you attempting to get to the football, they're going to call it.
Masoli has to throw this away because Jermail Hines was all over him.
And again, they're trying to mix up the looks to try to slow down Masoli.
Hands it off straight ahead. This will be 3rd down and long. And the Ducks are 0 for 5 on 3rd. Empty backfield. Masoli throws for the first down. They're to the red zone. There is James and nothing doing. Bucks were ready. Homan leading the charge. On 2nd down, pump fake. Now he's got to come to the side. That was dangerous because it was red off the pump by Hines, who was stepping in. Barner had a big 37-yard play earlier. He motions out. He'll be the receiver. From the 21, he's got the 1st and goal to the 6-yard line. So they convert a 4th down and now a 3rd down. So it'll be 2nd down from the 4.
Bet that with the speed.
Touchdown, Oregon. Barner. No, hold on. The line judge says he was down at the 1. And here is the hammer. Masoli keeps it. Masoli for the score. Morgan Flint. And the Ducks lead for the first time today in this Rose Bowl. Almost 4:30 here along the Pacific Coast. 1-point game. Beard kicks it away. Buckeyes first possession of the second half. And Herron. And there's a penalty flag at the 41-yard line.
During the return, holding number 16 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Running play was Sane to the 24-yard line, picking up 4 on first down. Flanker screen. Sansabacher's got the first down for the Buckeyes. Pick up a yard on a running play. Second down and 8. Play fake by Pryor. Rolls to the left. Throws down to Posey. Got it. 36 yards. Pryor rolls the other way. And now he's red hot. Sansenbacher at the 25. Blasted out of bounds by Harris. And he has been feeling it, rolling to the left and now coming back to the right on the move. Sane tries to get the first down, and he's pushed out of bounds very close to it. Here comes Sane for the first down. First down and 10. Read option, and the Ducks read it better than the Bucks.
Well, they see that every day in practice. They're gonna read that in a hurry. Anytime you go up against your own offense in spring ball and in two-a-days, you're pretty familiar with another offense that has the audacity to run some form of the zone read. And Terrelle Pryor's in no man's land. He wanted to pull the ball out, and Brandon Sane wanted to take it, and eventually he just had to let go before there was possibly a fumble.
Second down and long. Pryor, Sansenbacher holds on. Ripped at the 13, incomplete.
John Boyette does a good job, and all-out blitz by Oregon. Ohio State picks up, but there's one extra man that they can't account for. Pryor has to account for him by getting rid of the football. Boyette goes low, and Sansenbacher lucky to get up from that hit.
3rd and 13. Pryor fires behind the receiver. Misread. Sansenbacher cutting to the post, and Pryor threw behind him.
They had what they wanted, one-on-one matchup, and Pryor trying to get the ball out early. I think you could tell by the throw was anticipating Sansenbacher maybe staying up closer to the middle of the field. But Dane must have seen the coverage that he had to break it off a little bit early.
The Bucks have 3 field goals today. Here's Devin Barkley attempting to make their 4th and regain the lead. It's a 38-yarder. And Ohio State regains the lead. Barkley. Warner back at the 2-yard line. Slips. And he's had 2 outstanding returns here in the second half. That was a 36-yard return. And the young man, remember, he had a 100-yarder for a touchdown on the same field against UCLA. He's delivering again, James, number 21. And the Ducks 172. And battling, coming free is James. Appeared to be stopped, broke free before Russell gets him out of bounds. End around. And they pick up another 8. Barner. That's the second time he's been successful coming off the edge with that play. And we've got an injured Buckeye Hines down on the field.
To build up, get an idea of what's coming.
Fumble, loose ball, and it's a free ball. And it'll go out of bounds on the sideline as Blunt was the running back that time, and that'll come out on the 20.
Ohio State will take over at the 20-yard line. And watch the football. Does he ever? No, it never got in there, and then his left foot kicked the football. It's a scramble, but it goes out of the end zone. This is an offense that, as good as they've been this year, they've been prone to mistakes. They've fumbled this year 26 times coming in and lost 15 fumbles. That's among the worst in the college football.
So the Buckeyes have the ball coming out from their own 20. And Pryor rolls right, fires a strike, Posey. The confidence in Pryor is growing with Jim Tressel's play calling. You can see that evolving here. He's got confidence the way the young man is playing, and there are flags on this before the play starts.
5 and 06.
Outside on a defense, number 50. Jumped in the neutral zone, caused the offensive player to react. 5-yard penalty. First down.
First down and 5. And that was stopped before the handoff to Heron. That's a false start.
False start on the offense. Number 76. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Correct. So now he's playing against the young man he tried so hard to recruit. Here's Pryor trying to slip a tackle. And it was not easy bringing him down. Kenny Rowe had his hands full, but he got the job done. 2nd and 15 for Pryor. He takes off on a design run, sheds a would-be tackler, and gets back to the 35. It'll be 3rd and manageable. Pryor has to be a little bit careful when he starts barking. Pryor has got a man open, and he throws an interception. He had Heron wide open.
Oregon running back LaMichael James going back to the locker room just moments ago. Trainers were working on his left shoulder while the Oregon offense was over on the sideline. He ran off the field and directly into the x-ray room. Guys, I'll have an update for you as soon as I get it.
And that is stopped before Masoli can take off against the Oregon offense.
Start on the offense. Number 54. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
And that's a center. They motion Barner out of the backfield. Here comes the blitz. Gets it off. Screen on the side. The first reception for DJ Davis, the junior from Denver. Pump fake to the flank. Going to come deep down the middle, and it is incomplete. Jackson Rice back to punt. Posey fumbles it. Down at the 10-yard line. And remember, they are without suspended Ray Small. That interception came on that last drive. Now they settle in with Sane on the power running game. Sane again. The Buckeyes of Ohio State, they haven't been in a 60-point game all season, and it doesn't look like they're going to be in one here tonight. In fact, Navy scored the most points against the Bucks this year, 27.
You grow up in the Midwest and you watch the Rose Bowl. This game used to look like Disneyland.
That is
bright
the truth.
colors. gets dark when it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
3rd down and 3. Pryor. Bucks forced to punt. Sanzenbacher standing there at the Ducks 43. Masoli can get great field position. Fair catch. Out of bounds. And it will be spotted at the 32. LeGarrette Blunt and Masoli, the trigger man.
He'll run right through a safety.
He's got his chance, and he bulls his way for the 1st down. Takes on a linebacker that time, Herbie Holman.
And you can see that Ohio State's defense is a big question. How would they hold up against this offense?
Masoli. Out of bounds, shy of midfield. And that's Brian Roll, and the Buckeyes can't afford to be without him for a long time.
No. He's done such a great job of filling the large shoes of James Laurinaitis, who left last year after a great career for the Buckeyes, off to the NFL, and the St. Louis Rams. Roll stepped up along with Ross Holman to replace Marcus Freeman. Both young men play with quite a chip on their shoulder.
2nd down and 6. The read option, Barner to midfield, and that is short. They've got a 3rd down coming up. Masoli incomplete. Down at the 19-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Ohio State Buckeyes, who lead at 19-17. 13:03 remaining, up under center. Heron for a couple of yards. LaMichael James reemerges from the Oregon locker room, and he is suited up and looks like he'll be ready to go on the next series. 2nd down and 8. Pryor takes off, breaks the tackle, got the 1st down.
It's a blitz.
Hands it off to Heron.
Not that he's hurt him a lot tonight, but just enough on certain downs.
Pryor rolling to the right. Sanzenbacher short of the 1st down. Pryor, 1st down, Sanzenbacher. Pryor, backside down. 2nd and 12. Pryor slips and he's down. Pryor slips away, throws it in the air, caught, and there's our man Ballard. Right on cue, Jake Ballard.
Jake Ballard, Brent, you called it, 6'6", able to go up and make a play. It looked like Pryor had just thrown it up into coverage. I think the Ducks thought they had a great shot to go up and take this ball away, but the former high school basketball star makes the play.
Now they come back, and Sanzenbacher can't hang on. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 as the Bucks try to pick the tempo up a little bit. Heron trying to follow the left side. Cordell and Justin Boren, the transfer from Michigan, on that left side. Penalty flag. Steps across that marker, but this one could be coming back.
Offside on the defense.
On the defense.
First off.
How physical he can be. This is a safety. He throws him to the Rose Bowl turf. and picks up yards for a first down.
Hands it off, and Heron pounds to the middle. They've kicked 4 field goals and scored 1 touchdown on their first series of the game. He throws, end zone, Posey, touchdown, Ohio State. Petrie.
Previous play is under further review.
What a night. We've talked a lot about Pryor. How about the night for Posey? 8 catches and 101 yards.
How about the job that
Further
Bill
review,
Bedell.
receiver maintained possession, touchdown.
Congratulations, guys, and Happy New Year.
And more to come January 7th.
Petrie tacks on the extra point. Barner has been electric. They decide to kick it short to him, and he fields it at the 20, set the reverse, and they pitch it out. And here it comes, Harris. Harris down the far side. They run the reverse on the short kickoff. They trail it by 9. LaMichael James back in the game. And he will carry it. Spins away from a would-be tackler. Second down, he's in trouble here. The Bucs were all over them. Masoli, complete, short of the first down. That was James, the receiver.
Is interesting. This is interesting for Chip Kelly. Normally, he's always about being aggressive and going, but it's a 2-possession game. He needs 3 points, and this is very out of character for Chip Kelly to bring the field goal unit out here.
You don't want to misfire on this. You've got to take the 3 when you've got a chance.
Exactly. Exactly.
Morgan Flint. Slides it right. No good. And now the Ducks are under the gun. Down 9, 5-10 to go. They are 5 minutes away from beating Oregon and winning the Rose Bowl. Jim Tressel's first Rose Bowl as a head coach at Ohio State. Sane is on the field. Pryor, pitch, Sane after the juggle. Out of bounds on the Ohio State sideline, short of the first down. Option look again. Pryor will keep it for the first down. From up under center. Now the power running game of the Buckeyes. That was Sane. And now the Ducks are forced to use a timeout. Down to 3 minutes. And Pryor's going to keep it. Out of bounds on the far side, which I know that Terrelle would have preferred to stay inbound. First down. That game plan crumpled in his hand. First down and 10. And Heron pounds straight ahead.
But Ohio State doesn't take a back seat, so it's not about individual talent. And this will go a long way in helping to show people they can play.
And here's the MVP of the night, Terrelle Pryor. He just put the trophy away. That fabulous Oregon offense. And this game was not played at the Duck pace right from the beginning. It looked like a lower scoring game than many people thought.
Totally agree. And with Masoli coming back and James, much like Ohio State, most of that nucleus is back.
Watch the vest, baby. Here it comes. Where are those rascals? I know they're lurking back there.
It's not over. It's not over yet.
He won't let him do it. Oh, no! But he'll look at that clock and say, what's with you guys? There's 40 seconds, but he couldn't resist a big hug with Coleman. And the all Big Ten safety. What a day for the conference. Not just Ohio State. Penn State beats LSU. Northwestern goes to overtime with Auburn. But the Buckeyes rule.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to check your local listings for future episodes.